Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Intolerable Podcast. Today we are here with Will,
Hello.
Dexter,
Heyo.
and our first ever special guest on the show,
Whoop, whoop.
Sam Nevin.
Hello. Another Sam.
Double trouble.
Another one.
I think we're just gonna call Sam Nevin today.
Easier,
Well,
innit?
you can just
avoid
retain
any
your
confusion.
standard name.
Yeah, I'll be Sam for the day.
Yeah.
Alright, would you like to introduce yourself, Nevin?
Sure. Well, I just pretty much said to Sam how much I love the podcast, and then weaseled my way in. So pretty standard stuff.
How do you feel to have finally made it on YouTube?
Wow,
The Intolerable Podcast.
That's it, really. I feel like I could just quit uni now.
Yeah, you retire happy.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
let it go to your head all at once, you know. Just.
Well, I've got a big head, so it could take
Oh, that's the best. Oh, that's the best reply
fair
I've
enough.
ever in my life.
Oh. For a bit of context, we've known you, Nevin, since year 7, I think all of us. Well, actually, you guys might have known him longer.
Me and
Yeah, I
Dexter
think-
probably
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot
like
earlier.
infants, juniors, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a long-time friend.
Real OGs.
Yeah.
An OG.
Urgy shit. Oh god. So like, I'm just trying to remember like what sort of like shit. I remember one story at school when wait, can I name people on here?
Yeah.
Go
Okay,
for it.
let's see
Go for
what-
Mikey. People. Mikey. Once. Do you remember those like little pots of like fruit you'd get?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I remember
Archives.
once. Yeah, and because we were like neighbours to the junior school, he literally just lobbed this fruit pot into a group of kids.
I didn't know about this. What the fuck?
You know, he literally like went into like this group and just like drenched these kids with like sticky juice, and they just.
Oh,
It's fucking funny.
I remember how grim all that juice was. Like, you know, after the fruit pot, if you like drop it or spill it or whatever, it's sticky as fuck.
Yeah.
I saw Mikey recently in Spoons. I actually had like a decent chat with him.
He works
Did
at
you?
Mackey's now.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
yeah, he's working at McDonald's. It's with his workmates, I mean. But yeah,
Mm.
it's quite weird seeing him.
Yeah, it's so weird seeing people that like you were not like close with, but you saw every day or
Mm.
in that kind of respect around, and it's just like, oh, it's only been what? How many months? Or 6-ish? 6. Well, if
yeah.
you're counting summer, it's probably about 8 or 9.
Well, people like Mikey we haven't seen since year 11, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course, you didn't go 6th form.
No.
For some
no.
reason, yeah.
I buggered off to Cirencester.
Mhm.
How was Cirencester?
It was pretty sick, to be fair. It was pretty good. Just there was like 3 groups. There was like the normal people, the Stroudies, and then there was like the edgelords who'd like listen to Trivium and fucking do all that shit. But
Okay.
I remember one story distinctly. There used to be like this area called Spotlight, which is basically like a cafeteria, but it's like a bit more social. Like this, not everyone just sort of sits there.
So, like, in between a common room and a cafeteria.
Yeah, kind of. And literally these Stroudies like with their like tie-dye baggy trousers and like fucking green khaki jackets came off sniffing keys of Ket on their keys. And I was just like, fucking hell, like in the middle of the day just before a lecture, like yeah, it was quite a college.
I'm currently around a lot of those Stroudies with tie-dye.
Stradis is something else, man.
Yeah.
Now, they're all nice, the ones I've met, but
It's a lot,
Yeah, I
it's
don't know.
different, yeah.
the one thing I've noticed about people that are from Stroud is they're like,
Nice.
they're really proud of it.
Yeah.
Quite odd. I don't
I
know.
don't,
Like,
don't know if you should be, but
Well, no one really represents Cheltenham because no one really likes Cheltenham.
no.
It's like, hey, yo,
Like-
represent the streets. It's no, you're alright.
In Cheltenham, like the whitest town.
Represent the streets, fam.
Nevin, did you see the thing? I think we talked about that on podcast 3. The thing with the goat's head. spoons.
Oh, the nut
Yeah,
in
no.
spoons.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. Oh Jesus Christ.
So proud, man.
Cheltenham
That's
culture.
mental. And then there's that video that went viral with the guys, with the Wenger boys
Yeah,
thing. In their
yeah,
car.
yeah.
That's actually something to kind of be proud of. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
I don't think
yeah.
anyone knows it's Cheltenham though, because no one really knows like what Cheltenham obviously looks like. People only know it for like the races and I don't
Yeah.
know what else.
That's it.
Really, isn't it?
The races and being posh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
About it.
Cheese rolling,
Nuns with
maybe.
goat's heads.
yeah, soon to be.
I really want to go cheese rolling. I think it'd be great.
No, I don't think you do.
It looks so fun.
so
Is that just
deadly.
around here? Or
Yeah, until you break your back.
Gloucester, isn't it?
I thought it
Yeah,
was
it's in
just around.
Gloucester.
Yeah.
I don't. It's kind of in between, I think. I don't know which place it technically. Sort of
It's in Brockworth.
Okay. Oh, it looks deadly though.
Yeah, it does.
Gnarly, yeah. Fuck that.
You know that guy that does like Aussie voiceovers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one with the cheese rolling?
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, it's quite good. It's just
Isn't it?
people getting clattered.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it looks fun, but like it's just for a block of cheese, really, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Oh wait, you don't
It's like
actually
they'll
get
be
any
like-
money for it, do you?
I don't. I think you just get the cheese.
That's the whole point. You get the cheese. That's it. That's
Cheese.
It's like,
Unless you're fucking,
here's this
unless
year's
you're,
winner.
unless you're
with
fucking
17
Wallace from
broken
Wallace and
bones and a
Gromit, then I
block of
don't think you want it. I can't see anyone else going for it except for fucking Wallace.
Wallace-
Wallace. No, that was a horrible
That was a
impression.
shit
I'm
Wallace
so sorry.
impression.
Christ.
I haven't seen it in a while, in all fairness.
Guys, one sec. I'm going to post a link into the Discord chat. Look at that fucking photo of the cheese roll.
What, the first one? Oh shit. When the guy's like sideways in the air and he's like, shit.
Oh.
How did he get that? look at the fourth result, the fourth picture.
one. Oh, Jesus.
Just some guy just like, oh shit.
Where are his legs? Where are his legs?
They're gone. Oh. Oh dear.
Yeah, where are his legs?
He's got very slender legs.
Hey,
Oh, he's going so
Hell.
fast, he's just dug into the
the guy
ground.
on the right, where are his legs? You know
He's
that?
just so far in the ground.
Oh. Unless he's a fucking amputee, he decides.
Wait, no, look behind him. Look behind him. His legs are back there.
Oh yeah, that's legs. There's just fucking legs.
Christ.
Oh,
Maybe those are his legs.
it's like Google, just Google Street Map or whatever when it glitches out.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
his
tell you what,
legs
this
are
is.
like
Oh
five-
god, it's like the fucking one of the hills in like the cross country when
yeah.
it'd be like
Yeah, I know what you
really
mean.
fucking rainy, trying to go down them hills.
I'm pretty sure one of the hills they kind of do the cheese rolling on is like around like like Shuddington Road ish, like between the motorway and.
oh right.
I don't know. I just feel like I once drove past there and there was something going on. I mean, I probably would have noticed a fucking load of people just jumping down a hill after a block of cheese. But you might miss this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, in Sherrington Road, there's a cheese rollers inn, so I'm guessing they do it there.
Yeah, that's what I've driven past.
Okay, well,
It's actually just a hospital.
what?
The inn.
It's just a hospital.
Oh yeah. Cooper's Hill cheese roll. Cheese rolling is a dangerous activities for both participants and spectators. Imagine, no, in all fairness, like all the spectators are just like like down the hill on each side. So like
I thought I was going to say both participants and the cheese.
That's what I mean.
The cheese didn't make it.
Imagine sprinting all the way down a hill, breaking both your legs, and picking up a bit of cheese that's just like. in
They
half.
wrapped the cheese, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Otherwise, it would break.
It's probably just
Why
a
the
big
fuck
baby
would you
bed.
chase down the hill after some muddy cheese? Well, cheese. Look, I'd stop it at cheese, full stop. But you know,
It's just mud at that point. Mud with
I'm
hints
looking
of
at
cheese.
I'm looking
in it.
at injuries now.
Oh
What
god.
what type of cheese would it have to be for you to even
Fuck
consider?
me. Like,
No,
alright,
a cheese that I could sell for like £1 million.
I'd
No,
do it for
no,
some
no.
feta. I think
Look
I'd
at- look-
put
no,
one
you
with
wouldn't.
feta that
No,
big.
you wouldn't.
look in
you would've
Discord
bet.
at the fucking slope of this hill.
What's
Bam.
going on here?
Jesus Christ!
I mean, that's probably, you know,
Yeah,
at an angle or I don't know.
That
something.
is mad.
But
Yeah, they've
fuck
taken
that.
that as low as possible to make it seem as deep
Yeah.
as it is.
That's mad.
Oh, fucking raw. I've just seen a picture where there's a fat guy just on his back and his belly's like hanging out, and some guy's just landed on his face. His legs are upright.
Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
I think my biggest worry would be like getting clattered by the people. while I
Yeah, in
travel
the
it.
face or
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Unpopular opinion. I don't really like cheese.
Wow.
No.
Fair enough. I went through a phase of really hating
Would you
it.
do it if it was a box of celebrations?
No.
No.
They're like £4.
Why the fuck would I do that?
If it was celebrations with just bounty, then Sam.
Depends if it's full to the top or if you're getting mugged off like you usually are.
I think luckily you'd be the only one, so you could take your time if it was just bounty.
Oh, fuck off. Now be me and Matty having a race.
I love bounties.
Oh, there you go.
I'm a
Dexter,
bounty
do you
guy.
like bounties?
What do you fucking think?
Well,
I don't fucking eat chocolate, you cunt.
Yeah, Dexter literally doesn't eat sugar.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Dexter, you said it as if Will's made that mistake loads of times. God, it's so aggressive.
It's ma'am.
It's ma'am.
Wait, what is
All right,
that?
sir. All right,
Have you
sir.
not
It's
seen-
ma'am.
It's
No. Oh, no, I have.
You know,
Yeah.
fucking like.
Okay, good.
And there's
Yeah,
like,
I have.
I'm gonna mention
I
like
forgot.
most transgender people like sometimes look like, you know, somewhat convincing, but this looks like a fucking guy put on a wig, and it's just like it's clearly not mom.
It's
That's like,
Oh,
who do you reckon out of people we know would be the most likely to actually do the cheese rolling?
um,
Yeah, that's a shout. Yeah,
Ed.
Lamphia.
Lanfear probably would.
Yeah.
Ed, yeah, you're right with Ed.
Yeah.
I probably would. Liam Gochen.
He hasn't got much to lose, though, has he?
Thing is, you pick up so much speed, and then the crash would be fatal. The crash would be bad.
Oh, I've got a story about him. It's on lunchtime, and you know the new bit from the languages block to the front playground where like bike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Pebble bit, yeah.
Yeah, like where the basketball court was, and me and Lamphia was like there, and he came like, you know how you just like speed along like fucking 40 miles an hour. he came down. He tried to drift, but the tire tread came off, and he just went end over end. And it was the
Shite.
funniest thing. He was just stuck under it, and I was dying. It was so good.
Oh, that's so poor. Oh, he used to whiz around a bit. He used to be going.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember once, I think it was like year 7 or 8. He just rammed me in the shins, and it fucking hurt so bad. Didn't he? What did he say? You made. There's no suns in space.
Yeah, there's no suns in space.
Right.
Did
He
he
said
think-
there's no stars in space or whatever, or something like that.
No, he
No,
said there's no.
no, he said there's no suns in space.
Christ.
He thought sharks
think
are made
sharks
out
are
of
made
metal.
out
He
of
thought
metal,
sharks
yeah.
were made out of metal and that plastic grew on trees.
Oh,
These are
fucking
some.
hell.
These are
Just some of the
deep
wonderful
thinkers.
answers.
That's just a prime G2 G2 people right there.
How dare you?
G2 are a different breed.
I'm sorry. You're a cheater.
Yeah, they were full of bombs.
Well, I'm trying to think of other things that. Remember when Robbie used to just climb the fence and like
Yeah.
the caretaker used to just walk over and Robbie would just sprint off.
It was Mr. Dundas, wasn't it? The Scottish
Yeah.
guy.
I don't think he's there anymore.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
rip.
Do you reckon
Rip.
that guy in the year above us is still working there, looking all depressed and shit? I forgot his name. Is it like
Oh,
Joe?
Alex.
George?
Oh,
Is it Alex guy?
think it's-
Alex Turner?
Oh, I don't know.
no, it's not Alex Turner. It's
Yeah.
I think
Someone
it is Joe something.
But
I
it
can't
looks like
remember.
you just went straight from Balcarras to Balcarras.
Yeah, it does.
He looks so
I
happy
still
about
work
it.
there.
Well, yeah, but you, I mean, you
Not
fucking earn better than
permanently.
you
It's
weren't
once
better
a
than
week.
me, let alone him.
Well, yeah, I don't know how he earns.
Take a look at his facial expressions. Have a guess what he earns.
That is mean.
Oh, God.
But did I miss
Oh, you go, Nevin.
Sorry, did I miss any interesting stories from Sixth Form? Like anything?
Oh god.
It's not like.
There was some stupid
I
stuff.
do
Like,
remember one. Well, you could go ahead.
like there was a bunch of stupid stuff we had. Like Lawrence had this thing for like about 2 weeks where he'd just line up chairs and leap over them onto the sofa.
Yeah.
Almost every single.
That is such a Lawrence thing to do. Like,
Yeah.
The thing is, he'd get the whole like common room to like big him up. We'd all be chanting. And the teacher would be watching, and the second he did it, the teacher would walk over and be like,
Yeah.
"Right." But like, it's just every time.
do you remember my little story with Lawrence on
Yeah.
the playground?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Tell
it
it
again.
Tell it anyway. I
There's no one
forgot.
to explain. So me, like, there's a couple of us used to get there really early at school, and I would just be like hang around on the front playground to like be called in. And I found this like bowl in the bin, and I thought it was just like someone like just like a plate or something that someone had chucked out.
Mhm.
So I put it on Lawrence's head, and it turns out it was a used sick bowl.
Oh, fuck.
And I was like,
Oh.
once I found out, I was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like,
I
putting it
didn't-
on
I
my
didn't-
head. I was like, this isn't a sick bowl. So I was like, put it on my head. And then I found out, I was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. And then,
I didn't know the context because I knew
Yeah.
what happened because I saw
I never knew this.
you know the next part, but I never knew that was the actual.
Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
that was early in the morning.
When was this?
Yeah.
What year?
like year 9 or 10, something like that.
Shit.
And basically, I thought nothing of it. Like it happened and it happened. But I came out at break time, and Lawrence comes up to me with a water bottle with some yellow liquid in it, and I was like, all right.
I remember
It was
this.
like, he's like, I'm going to throw this on you. I was like, why? And he's like, I've just pissed in this bottle. I'm going to throw it on you. I was like, right, okay. And I was just like, Lawrence, if you do that, we're going to have a full-on scrap. And he was like, oh yeah, no, don't worry, I won't do it, mate. And then just threw it out.
Yeah, but the thing is, I swear he was so indecisive. I don't think it was that quick. He was so indecisive because I know for a fact that he had it on his person on the front playground for a solid like at least 3-5 minutes, and he was walking around like not sure what to do with it because Lawrence is pretty
picture his little
indecisive.
run with it.
Yeah, like Lawrence is pretty
Run with
indecisive. Like
it.
you said, you had to get everyone. He had to get everyone to big him up to do this like jump, like stupid shit, like jumping over chairs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he was wondering whether to throw this bottle of piss, fresh piss, I might add.
It must have been so warm in his pocket.
I've never ever. I don't think I've ever pissed in a bowl.
No, I don't think I
have.
have either.
Can't say. I'm looking forward to doing it. Actually,
It's not that bad. What you've got to make sure you don't do though is I blocked the whole lid, and it created like a
oh
vacuum.
no, that's
So
horrible.
when I first pissed into
You
it,
tried to whip it out, and
no. So basically, I put my penis in it, right, not all the way, just like as much as it could. And then I started to pee, but it kind of because there was no room. Yeah, it's full of air, but I blocked any more air coming in or out.
Yeah.
So the second I started pissing,
with your bell.
it pushed my dick out, if that makes sense. And then I just pissed it. Like,
It's everywhere.
and then I found out. So the way to do it is to like just put a tiny bit at the end in and leave gap for air to come out, so that it doesn't like ping your penis out of the bottle.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll keep that one in the knowledge.
This
bank.
episode on the Intolerable Podcast, we will be teaching you how to piss into a bottle. Stay tuned for more. Well,
Now I have to shit into a cup. No.
I'd
Shit
imagine
into
that
a
would be
fucking packet in Maryland's.
Oh, fucking
We
Christ.
can't name drop who did that,
I've
but
heard about this.
I feel like that's a bit embarrassing for them.
Well, funnily enough, my story was also about this same person. Probably not as like, crazy, but we once had like a really, I think it was just a stupid futures or study assembly, and this guy just asked for a random volunteer because he was showing the old trick about if you put one pencil you can snap it easily, but yeah, and if you put a load together and try and snap it, you can't. So if you
He was trying to like.
yeah.
He was trying to encourage teamwork, was it? Or something?
Yeah.
And then he called someone up,
Yeah.
and Lawrence went up to go and say it, and he said, "All right, try and snap these now that they're all together." And not only did he just try and break them with his hands, he fucking broke it over his knee, threw it on the ground, and then just walked back to a seat, which was at the back of the hall. So and it's not like everyone was laughing. Everyone was just like, "Wait," because obviously they were like half asleep and they didn't care about this at all.
Because basically, so this guy is a guest that no one knows as well. That's come into the school.
Wasn't this guy from like Southampton Uni or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Then he gets Lawrence to come up, and he's like, snap a singular pencil. Lawrence does it fine. He then gives Lawrence literally like an entire like hand wrap around. Like he's wrapped his hands right the way around these pencils, and he goes, now try to snap them. Intending for Lawrence, I guess, just to try and bend them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To break.
On his
Lawrence
knee.
then
His
just
fucking knee.
fucking raises his hands up and smashes it down on his knee.
Over and
Only, like,
over
half
again.
the break, so he has to do it like 3 times. But then he just shouts it and he just drops it on the floor and walks off.
And then the guy was just like, "Yep, you got me." And he's just like, "What the fuck? Where the fuck would you go from there?" I would walk out. I'd just be like, "Yeah, that's all,
Give
folks."
up.
I made a joke like, "Oh, I'm gonna need some new pencils now," or something like that. Oh, it was
Properly mugs
it's
right
so
off.
funny. Oh, it was
Fuck you
so
and your pencils.
I knew Lawrence was gonna do it though. The second he got called up, I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
I was like, "Oh shit, this isn't gonna go how he thinks."
Oh Jesus! Yeah, I remember this other story. There was a G2 story. I don't know if I've told you guys about it, but basically, our tutor for year 10 was in Dr. Sharp's science room,
Quality.
and there's this ominous liquid left on the side in a spray
Shit.
in like a spray bottle, and I turned around from like I was probably I don't know like a good 2 meters away, and I sprayed it into okay, I'll just say his name, Dan Parsons' face, and basically like he was fine at the time, like he was just like he sort of wiped it out of his eyes, and then Max Regan picked up the bottle as Dr. Sharp came in and was like, "I'm guessing it was you that sprayed Dan, Max, if you're holding the bottle," and he was like, "No, it was Sam." I was like, "Oh, you cunt!" And then he just goes to me, he just goes, "Right, that's an after school." I was like, "Oh God!" And then basically what I had to do was I had to write out why it was bad and what could have happened, and then he made me write out the ingredients of it, and like it's like all these like long like names and
Get
like loads of
fucked.
different stuff. I made me give it to my mum. My mum was just like, "Right, okay, what's this?" Like it was a weird one.
I wonder if that was like a legal thing though, or whether he just wanted to have you write weird, annoying words.
God knows.
Trying to think of other things he used to have. Do you remember Mushroom on the front playground?
Yeah.
Mushroom?
Yeah,
Jim
the
Hunt.
guy he's like 2 years above. Nah, more than that. Like 4 years above actually.
He was in 6th form and we were
Oh wow, so like, yeah,
yeah,
a lot.
It was a lot older.
Yeah.
That was. Remember when Robbie used to run around throwing money at him?
Yeah.
Of all the things. Quite ironic for him as well.
Oh, it's so funny.
No, but it was when Jim shouted mushroom and then like held him by his neck over some stairs, and Jim. I felt so bad for him.
I don't think Jim understood that he got annoyed by it.
No,
Yeah.
And Jim thought it was like a funny thing.
yeah.
And then he just says it to him, and the guy just fucking.
I remember as well when they all threw Max into the goal and like it like bent it
That
down.
was quality.
Yeah.
It went the net, didn't it?
It like bent the bar. And then they were gonna do it to Harry. They were gonna do it to Harry, and like the team put him down, and they just dropped him from head high onto the front.
So what about the time you might have been when someone farted and Mr. Moore kept echoing?
I fucking remember that shit.
I was in that.
Fucking bullshit. It's kept us all there. Like no one's leaving until the person admits that they did it.
Nevin, it was. I remember.
Oh, God.
Do you want me to tell you something?
What?
Was it you?
It was me.
I fucking knew it. I knew it.
It was definitely you. as well.
Nevin, you were like 2 people away from me, and as you farted, my foot slipped, and I was like, "Wait, I wonder if that was just my foot." And then I spent the entire like 40 minutes like,
Did I
I
fart?
can't just blame it on my foot because people are gonna think it was me that just farted.
Well, yeah, because like halfway through waiting, Evan just stands up and goes, "All right." No, it wasn't you. Sit down.
Nevin tried to take the blame and just get.
Oh God,
Oh, fucking
that
hell.
was fucking funny.
Yeah, but I was near enough to you where people were like making eye contact with me and like checking. But I was like sweating because I was like, wait, maybe it was me and my foot.
But
Like,
it was awkward because we'd all sat down and literally he was just talking. I farted. He was like, and then people laughed, and he was like, "Right, we're going to stay here until who did that owns up." And we were there for a good 40 minutes. He was there.
I don't
Why
even get what the
did you own
fucking
up?
point is. Why did he keep you all back for a fart? It's a bodily function that you can't avoid. Come on.
Nevin, why? I have a question. Why didn't you admit it? Why were you?
I think it was just the pressure. Like
Mr. Amore's
I was just like,
It was the pressure that got you there in the first place.
Fuck me.
The thing is, it's like you leave it for 5 minutes because you don't want to embarrass.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point where you're like, wait, now if I admit it, people are just gonna be pissed off.
yeah,
So
and
you
then
kind of just gotta like just
And then
see it through.
And then when it's too far, you can't admit because you wasted their time already.
Yeah, you didn't want to get shanked in the change rooms.
Yeah, it was
I have a question.
between
Did it
you
smell?
and-
It didn't actually.
What
No,
the
I
fuck
was
was the
near it,
point,
like-
man? It's just an audio disruption. It's just like fucking
Mr.
hell.
Moore was talking, and then we laughed when he was talking.
Oh.
So he got a bit triggered.
Mate, he's like a 40-year-old, like rock hard, like 6'5" guy, and he gets pissed off because someone farted and ignores him.
Look, it wasn't so much he was angry at people.
It was
No, I know, it's
laughed
because
whilst he was
people
talking.
laughed. Yeah.
Yeah, we all.
Still, I mean, like, me.
Nevin, that takes some booze to just fart while I'm there talking. That is-
And on the gym floor.
Oh God.
Do you know this? Like, as pissed off as I was at the time, it's a solid memory.
It is.
It's so funny to the back.
Oh God.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you remember when in the gym changing room where we were all slapping each other on the back?
Oh,
Yeah.
Saturn did it to Jim, and then Jim like got his hands around his neck and pushed him up against the wall.
Jim's an untamed beast. Like, you don't mess with Jim.
He's the most innocent and calm,
I know.
but like I don't know. I don't think he'd ever snap like that. I think it was just a young a young Jim,
Yeah.
just going wild. It was like year 8, to be fair. It's ages.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, banger. Honestly,
Oh, there's so many fucking things.
too many. What about when Evan was doing his homework on the front playground, and we were all crowding around him, like trying to just distract him. Mr. Prophet was there, like why are you doing this? Like I think it might have been Mr. Prophet's homework, and literally the bell rang. The bell rang and a seagull shit on his work.
I knows that. Oh.
I never thought that.
Oh.
That was funny.
Oh god.
The seagulls, the seagull epidemic at Volcano.
Oh god, yeah, they were lethal.
There was so many. I got shot on, I think, 4 times at that school.
Oh yeah, I got shit on.
Remember when one shat in Charles's pocket?
The best was Will. The best was Will.
Oh,
Will,
history,
Will was the worst.
Will, so Tommy was really annoying Will, and then Will threw a fake punch at Tommy.
I was like, put my hand in the air, like really dramatically, like
as he's extended his arm, a bird shit perfectly
on my
wrist.
fist. Yeah, and then everyone's just like, what the fuck was that? And I look at it, and I'm just like, holy fuck. This is year 8, bear in mind. So I go and I go and clean up, and obviously the bell has just gone. So I clean up for like 10 minutes. Then I just walk into the history class like, hey, and then everyone's just like, yep, we know. And then there's like kind of silence for a bit while there's giggling in the background. And then my teacher says, Will, did a seagull poo on your arm? And I just go, yes, it did.
I'm pretty sure like it was like a 1 in a million shot, but I can't remember who it was, but I'm pretty sure a seagull shat in someone's pasta pot. Like I'm pretty sure that happened.
Seagulls are mental, man. Like...
I remember when one went perfectly down the back of Aiden's collar, like back of his neck, like right down it.
Jesus.
That was bad.
Seagulls are
The front playground was flooded with them. They were lethal. And I guess it's free food all over the floor.
Yeah.
And humans to shit on.
Get out.
You know what, that made me laugh so much. Oh.
I remember Albin, he used to just throw shit. And there was once he just caned an apple against my head, and it like shattered upon impact. It hurt like so fucking. It was like, luckily it was my forehead, so it wasn't like that bad. Forehead's pretty like hard, but
Yeah.
if he got me in the fucking eye with that thing, I would have like had a fucking like broken eye socket. He couldn't have thrown it any fucking harder. Throwing food was always there.
That was a class. Do you remember scrambles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
they were
those
fun.
are the worst.
Oh, thing is, your hands would just get trodden on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly when someone did like a 50p.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that's like 50 bloody 1-piece like cola bottles. That's sound.
Or well, yeah, you can get a jubbly from there.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. Jubblers.
Oh, Nevin, you gotta I've got to ask, why the fuck would you always do that thing where you just pretend to throw up like whatever drink you were having?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just the milk.
No.
It was like a regular thing.
I always used to do that.
You used to just walk up near to
frequently
people.
did this and just like spit milk out on the floor and be like,
I used to do the thing with my feet as well. Like, I'd take my shoe slightly off and look like it would like walk round with it.
Yeah, you always used to just walk near to people and then just and just like.
Oh god, yeah. I forgot about that.
From the time we were playing football and you had the steel toe boots and you just fucking popped it.
Yeah.
Like you tried to welly it and it just burst. Like
Did we tell the story about me getting my the Matrix? Have we told that story yet?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah, the day the world is meant to end. Right,
No, that's not it.
No,
This is a different story. You can continue with this story. Finish with the end of the world story there.
Alright, so it's the day the
2012.
world's meant to end.
It's
and
like the
Will
11th
is
of whatever.
Will is fucking shite at football.
Deplorable,
Like,
fucking
one of the
horrible.
worst people I've ever met, right? At football.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Liam Gotham was better.
For some context, he's in a wheelchair.
Football.
But, so Will is terrible, and this is 2012. I think it's December. Can't remember what day exactly.
December something.
But the day the world was meant to end back in 2012, and for some reason, we were convinced it was going to end after.
Yeah.
I think the ball comes in from across, or like it lands. It's flying behind Will roughly, right? And Will hits like a scorpion kick.
Well,
and it was beautiful. It was
my
like
hands were in my pockets, and I basically just not like a massive scorpion kick, just kind of lifted up my foot behind me, and it just flew right into the goal. And literally, everyone just stopped, stared, and was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, it wasn't like everyone went mental. It was like everyone stopped in silence because it was like,
This is that shocking.
It was like the world has ended.
it was like the game just stopped. Everyone was like, how?
I wasn't even
How?
playing. But yeah, and, well, in all fairness, that was when the world ended.
Onto a better story because Will ends up in misery.
Yes.
The Matrix
And,
story.
and out of pocket as well.
I don't think I've heard this.
Okay,
You must have
basically,
heard-
I can't remember why you were doing it, but Will was doing like the thing from the Matrix where you
Everyone was
lean
doing it.
back, yeah,
Right, yeah.
dodge the bullets. And as Will's doing it, Hampton just comes up and nails him in the balls.
Steel toe-capped boots.
And then so Will's on the
My
ground. and whilst he's on
prepubescent
the
testicles.
Oh, this is
Whilst-
the best bit.
Whilst he's on the ground, his money, right? Will's trying to get his money. Max stamps on his hand, takes the money, and runs off.
I'll tell you what that is. That is the worst way to get mugged. The worst way.
I think that's possibly the lowest I've been in my life. Both physically and emotionally. Considering I was on the ground trying to pick up my money and help both my testicles and my hands.
And the added mixture of you doing the Matrix thing.
Yeah.
To be fair, Dexter got some revenge for you when we were playing football.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was like in one of the summers or
That's a
whatever.
gorgeous picture, yeah.
Yeah, you can put the picture up. We were just playing football. Ball comes to me. I'm about to absolutely rifle a shot at and Max jumps in the way, like for whatever reason, spreads his legs apart, and the ball goes straight into his fucking ball.
It couldn't have been any better. Sam, have you ever seen the photo?
I don't know if I have.
Oh, Dexter, do you have it?
Yeah, I do. I'll put it in.
Send it to him. He's literally
it in the
purple on
Discord.
the floor. Like it's.
And that's not a filter.
Yeah, there's some class memories that happened on
Yeah.
that playground.
Jeez.
It was shit though a lot of the time. The front
It
playground.
was.
Yeah,
Like-
red ass and blue balls are always bangers.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Do you remember the time his blue balls? Aiden hit Evan in the face and he just fell
Yeah.
back into the goal.
Yeah. I remember that.
Oh,
that
his
goal
glasses
It
pinged
was
off.
so stupid because if you were sat in the back of the goal, you should just push people and they would just be stuck in there.
Yeah.
Like, it would be so hard to get out.
I remember people used to hold whoever was getting blue balls or red ass through the net
Yeah.
on the other side so they couldn't move.
Yeah. So they couldn't escape.
Oh Jesus Christ!
It was always Louis or Evan. There's like the two that we got regularly.
Oh God, Louis Matisse. I mean, I was the only witness to their fight. And Louis Matisse and Will Gibb. It was a finishing business, and apparently the story behind it was that Well, Louis apparently like sold him something, and it was just herbs
No.
or something.
No, it was so Will Gibb tried to buy LSD off of Louis, which
Yeah.
comes in little tabs, which are kind of like cardboard, basically.
Yeah.
But Louis literally sold him, I think, the cutout of he cut out a square of a cereal box or some shit,
Yeah.
and literally sold him cardboard.
For how
You're a
much? For how
tenner.
much?
I think he sold. I don't even know. I think he made like 10, 20 quid off of him.
That's raucous.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, it was basically just a bit of like Louis was like he came out of business and he just grabbed Louis by the back of the neck and just sort of slapped him on the back of the head like really quickly. Like Mr. Five Ash had to break it up, and I was just like, fucking hell! Like he just basically got jumped at the end of class, and got slapped on the head.
Were you in our ICT class? Ian?
No, you were
In,
in
like,
my
year
one.
10, 11.
I was
You were
with
my one.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Oh, you weren't witness to the Aaron Bound Will Gibb.
Oh, that was
heard about
beautiful.
No,
this.
we were not.
I was in the class when Sam,
I had
you were-
headphones on, so I didn't realise like a fight was happening right behind me for like half of it.
Well, yeah, it just
I turned
happened.
around, I was like, "Oh wait, what the fuck?"
And then our teacher.
I turned around to
think it was
ask
like
Mr. Rice a question. I
You
just
were just like, oh shit.
so funny.
Dexter, do you remember when we got Mr. Rice to look at a 9/11 movie?
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
That was fucking amazing. I can't remember what he was showing us, like a trailer thing, and it was like in the recommended tab, and we were like, oh, so just click on that video.
No, it's fine. It's not bad at all.
It's fine. And it was the Toy Story one.
Oh,
Buzz, we missed the truck.
Yeah.
He just went for the truck.
He looked devastated.
Like, he just went bright red, and he was like, "You are all terrible people."
the best is when you get a teacher that catch out like that. It's always fucking.
Do you remember Jump to
Yeah.
Death?
No.
No?
Yeah,
Wait.
I remember that.
That picture. Yeah, but Jump to Death is I'm pretty sure it's still on
I've seen
YouTube.
that picture before.
I'm pretty sure Jump to Death is still on YouTube, but we just made our maths teacher, Mr. Dean, just search up because we were just I think we were just a random bit of class watching ridiculous frisbee shots or something like that, and then we just came across this video called Jump to Death, and it's just right. I'm gonna.
I controversially really liked Mr. D.
Yeah. Right.
That's-
Watch this video.
I was just
Dexter, he never learned your name.
I was just no, he did.
You were
He
just
said
the
it
boy.
once.
Yapılmakta olan ulusal dalgıçlık olimpiyatları için güzel şehrimiz Diyarbakır'a hoş geldiniz. Evet, yarışmacımız yapılmakta olan ulusal dalgıçlık olimpiyatları.
Just keep watching it.
Evet, yarışmacımız Yaşar yürüyor.
Oh my god.
Yaşar hazırlanıyor.
What the fuck is that?
It's Jump to Death. I'm surprised you never seen it.
It's like a Monty Python sketch or something.
It looks like it, doesn't it? It looks very.
Yeah, and this was like in the middle, and like Mr. Dean just kind of looked around and was just like, and because everyone was laughing.
Jump to Death. Why would you click on that?
I don't know.
Have you guys ever seen Here I Come, I Am Cinnamon?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Okay, so we're doing. It's not. I'm watching a geography presentation. My mate's doing it. It was Tom and Max doing it. This is a sixth form geography, and then I can't remember what they were going through. I think it was. I don't know. It was one of our geography topics. I can't remember which one, but they're going through it, and then they're like, "Oh, we found this." So they go through like a bunch of actual information about like, the topic. And halfway through, there's this link. Like, it's a page just with a link in the middle, nothing else on the page. And you're like, oh, we found this really great video that explains some sort of, like, formation. They click on it, and it's just "Here I come, I am cinnamon," and then they close it and try to carry on dead face. Tom is just Tom is just crying, and I'm like under the table, like because I was watching like with the rest of the class, because I knew I was the only one who knew it was coming, so I was just fucking crying.
God.
Which teacher were they with?
It was Miss Hunt.
Oh, okay.
She's sound enough just to like play it.
Yeah.
But it was a sick form. Like you just get a better relationship with the teachers.
Oh yeah, we in some of our presentations in philosophy and ethics they were fucking amazing because we had like one of them I remember distinctly was we had like the information on the slides, and then we had like for one of them we had like Roly Mo with a philosopher's quote coming out of it. And we just had like so many just fucking random ass characters. Like we had fucking Zebedee. We had like
Biggie Cheese.
Yeah, we had Biggie Cheese in there. We had the Chicken Joe from Surf's Up.
Oh God!
All the legends with philosophical quotes. And it was just like, and then we had the last slide had the ladybug from Bug's Life that's like a trans fucking ladybug.
Yeah.
And we put like Supreme across the front of it and like the little K symbol on his hand. And it literally, we knew it was coming, and we were all fucking dying trying to read these really philosophical quotes off this fucking board.
Fucking hell.
I remember lunchtime sixth form where we used to just discuss animals, like who would win in a fight.
Yeah.
Like, wait, it was one of them was like emu versus a rhino.
It was like 100 emus versus no.
We do stuff like that, but for some reason we had this one friend that was convinced that an emu could beat the fuck out of almost anything.
And he gets on this about like the Great Emu War that the humans lost.
And it was just complete bullshit. I'm sending who it was in the chat, Nevin. But like, I remember once we were going through town, and I think we were discussing. I want to say it was like an emu versus. It was either Muhammad Ali or a gorilla.
No, I think it might have been Muhammad Ali.
Oh, and there was, but like, no, I think it might have been a rhino, but they said the emu would fucking win. And
he said 100 emus would beat a rhino.
Okay, I might be able to get down with that.
No.
100?
It's a fucking rhino.
Yeah, but that's a lot of emus pecking your eyes out.
It's a walking tank.
Yeah, but you peck its eyes out, and then you...
No, they won't.
Speaking of emus, I once went to like a safari park and I watched someone feed an emu a Tic Tac.
I'm sorry. In addition, that's probably the best segue I've ever heard. Talking of emus, it's like smooth.
It was just the emu was like just sort of going like. It's like going down.
Well, like choking on it.
No, it was trying to swallow it, but it was like minty, so I think it was like gagging at the same time.
I was once we were on our like year 6 PGL trip, and we went to some like zoo place, and there was a sloth hanging between 2 branches, and you know how like it really slowly turns.
Yeah.
It's hanging from 2 branches, but it's like body it's facing, let's say it's like right arm, and it slowly pans over to the left, like so it's panning over kind of from its right arm to its left, and it pees on the way perfectly across my chest. Like it just pees left to right perfectly across my like grey hood, so you could just completely see it, and then onto like the arm of my mate next to me, and I was like, as if I was the first sloth I've ever seen has just pissed like right across my entire torso. Pissed me off. It was in like year 6. Oh. Did you guys had a PGL, didn't you?
We did in year 5.
Classic parents get lost.
Yeah.
Oh. I never heard that. I don't think.
What?
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
That's what it's actually called.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it actually
Yeah.
called that? I thought it was just a
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Hey.
So this is PGL. What do you guys have any stories from your PGL?
Oh, I do. Well, it's not. Oh,
What happened at
Dexter?
PGL?
Dexter, I do.
What happened at PGL?
Do you
What
remember?
happened to
Do you
PGL?
remember when I went into a
Stayed at
shower
PGL.
and you
When
were
you went
going
into
to?
the shower?
You were gonna.
Oh,
you were gonna.
yeah, I do remember that actually.
Wait.
Well, basically on the first night, I was in like a room with who was I?
Brilliant.
I didn't hear that. What was it?
Yeah, this is one of Sam's family show.
Right. Anyway, yeah, I was in a room with like who's like Dan, Dexter, Joe, and some other people like that. And everyone was gonna have a shower before like dinner or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a shower, but like, tell me if we get called for dinner, because I knew we were gonna get called for dinner anytime soon. So I had like a 5-minute, 10-minute shower, whatever. And then I come out of the shower and my room is fucking empty. And I'm like, they hiding? And then I looked around, they weren't. Then I got dressed and I was like, oh, they must be at dinner. So I like walked out of the building, of the I don't know, house building, whatever it was. And then I looked, I don't know what, like I saw like a window, and it was one of the teachers or two of the teachers just like, don't know, like having a coffee or whatever. And they just like pointed at me, and they was like, as in like, get. And I was like, right, I should be at dinner. Then I walked down to the hall, and there was just a load of people just sitting outside getting talked to, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna walk, just sit down. Nothing happened at all. And then as soon as I saw Dexter, I was like, you fucking. Well, obviously I didn't. Yeah.
So they just left you in the shower and didn't tell
Yeah,
you.
we did. We just left him.
Prick.
I remember. What was the thing we had in year 6 called? I can't remember what it was called.
Stackpole.
That was it.
I feel like
me and-
our PGL was a bit more wild and big up
I
like.
remember.
Probably.
I found you had like a stuffed dog or something with you.
Me.
You had a
Oh,
stuffed
I
something or
remember
other
this
with
as
you.
Wetty.
And
God.
I stole it, and Lamphir was down below because we were on like the first floor, and I was throwing it out the window to him, and he was throwing it back up, and we were just throwing it back and forth until Blakey came out, and he was like, "Oi, what are you two doing with his toy?"
My crying in the corner.
Yeah.
At my PGL, my mate shagged a wooden post and showed me his boner.
Wow.
Well, who took naked pictures of shit? Someone took naked pictures of someone. I can't fucking remember who it was.
Oh my god.
I cannot remember because it was with those little like shitty £1 cameras you got.
Oh no! So what, when he printed it in Snappy Snaps, this is like a naked child.
Oh,
What year
I
were
cannot
you
remember
guys
for the
when you
life
did
of me. Huh?
Were you year 5 or 6 when you did it?
We were year 5 for PGL and then year 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were year 6 for PGL, which is an awkward time. That's where like some people have a few hairs growing, some are bald. It was around those days.
I was hairy in year 2.
Yeah, you've been hairy since birth. Oh. We need to shave another name into your chest now.
Yeah.
Oh god, that was. I didn't mind it at the time, but honestly, it took like a good 2 months to grow back.
You just had Max across your chest.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad.
It'll happen. It takes a while. It takes a good amount of time.
Yeah, I've got the picture somewhere. Let's see if I can find
It's
it.
a good pitch.
Are you gonna like all the pictures we're talking about, Will? Are you gonna like put them in, or are you just gonna not bother?
I think some, for context, have to put in.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry, I'm back. What were we talking about?
Oh, we were saying that you're going to put in the pictures we've been talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I'll
Right.
send you this one then. Where is it?
I mean, if you want it in, Sammy wanted it.
I don't mind.
Never know. Oh.
There's a picture of Max dressed as Charles Manson next to me.
Christ.
Oh dear.
Those parties are great.
Yeah.
The dress code was just like offensive.
It was just insensitive. Yeah.
Our costume was pretty solid, Dexter. I mean,
Ours
it was
was
more your
pretty good,
idea,
yeah.
and I just chewed off
Oh, well.
it. Oh,
It's pretty good though.
yeah, we even had a little proper vlogging camera.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yours is so good.
Uh,
I remember that.
For those wondering, I was Logan Paul, and Sam was a Japanese man who'd hung himself.
It's so bad. I didn't. Yeah, I was more just a corpse. I got my sister to do some makeup, tie some rope, and just left it hanging around my neck. And yeah. Oh, there's the photo. It's in Discord.
Christ. That's a hairy boy.
Who did it? It's quite good writing. It's
It's,
not bad.
Kira.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know. I was just like, who wants to shave Max's name to my chest? And I don't know. Kira came back like 20 minutes later with a razor, like water. Like I was like, oh, okay. Guess this is happening.
Was that the same night you boxed your college mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That was so
Beat
funny.
the shit out of him.
I was filming it.
Fucking
You just
floored him.
I felt so bad afterwards.
yeah, you gave me the photos. Was like, mate, record this, and I saw your boxing gloves on. I was like, wait, what the fuck? And you started beating each other. I say each other. You just started battering it.
The thing was, it would be like AJ against me. Like it's not a fair comparison.
The thing is, he thought he could take me because I was like a bit pissed, and like the first punch I landed, I knocked him down. I saw like a panicked look on his face. I was like, I need to stop this. And I was like, we need to stop.
Didn't you had a little? You and Jasper had a little go, and I
Yeah,
saw you
they
just
had a little-
nailing him in the stomach.
Yeah, I've got all the videos. I just was like, oh my god, him in the stomach.
I remember I was in the garage and I just heard you hit Jasper. And I heard it like while I was in the garage and I heard it. I looked outside and I just saw Jasper like holding his stomach.
Oh, I love Jasper. I feel bad now.
Yeah, nah, he was down for it though. He
he wanted it.
wanted to carry on. Yeah, I mean, he's a bit of a beat. You know, he has a fear of wrists, so he does pull-ups with his hands facing like away from.
Really?
Very
Yeah.
specific.
You run up to him and show him like the veiny part of your wrist. He'll like squirm.
Oh, that's pretty weird. I can see that though. Like,
It's kind of gross.
I sometimes look at my wrist. I'm like, oh, that's like pretty grim. But like, yeah, I can imagine having a fear of it.
But yeah, he just pull-ups with his. Like he can't do close grip. Well, if he does, I guess. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know. Strange.
What about that time? Another one of Max's parties where I drank like probably about a gallon of cider and just vomited my guts out. Like, I was boasting. I was being such a little cocky prick. I was like, "Yeah, I've never been sick before from drinking." Like, cut to like 5 hours later, I'm just like.
That was the first one Max ever hosted, where like a group of us. So when we were underage, this is awful, by the way. We used to give homeless people money, and then they'd buy us drink.
Oh my god!
So that's how we get. So before this, we're underage. Why we have to, why we resorted to this. But we gave him some money to buy us drink, and then you pay him a bit extra for him to keep. And he got us like, I think we asked for, I think there were 4 of us, and we were like, can you get us 4 2.5 litre bottles of like cider, which is already like we were too young, like we didn't need that much. And he came out with 6, and he's like, oh, I think there was a bit of a deal on or something. And then, like, so then we arrive at the party, all with like, we've already got way too much, and we look on the table, and someone else has also bought the same bottles of cider,
Oh,
and there was just too much there, and I think only like 3 people didn't throw up.
really?
I think like 7 or 8 of us did. And the worst was Joe. I think Joe threw up on the couch and just flipped the thing over. And he's never told Mac.
Oh my god!
Oh, it's so awful.
At Max's last party, which is pretty bad, we were all just in the like in the kitchen, and they're like moving house, We reset
Yeah,
like all their clocks and that. Oh, yeah, Sam, you were with us, weren't you?
yeah, we were doing it.
Yeah, and
The battery, we like put.
yeah, I put it on the top. That's what I was going to get to, and it dropped down into the oven, like behind the oven. Like we just heard like a.
No, so there's the oven, and then there's a fan above it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And you put the battery on the top, and then we heard it just roll down into the fan. And we went like this.
Oh, I was there for this, wasn't I?
You might have been. Oh, yeah, you were.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we were like, couldn't that catch fire or something? And you were just like, nah.
I was like, they're moving house soon.
And then,
Sure.
then I set the alarm on his oven to like 2 in the morning, and I don't know if anyone actually reset it before we left. I can't remember if we did or not.
Oh,
It was later than that. It was like 4 in the morning. I think we set it for.
yeah. Then we like.
No, it was 4. No, we set it to 4:20.
Oh,
In the morning.
brilliant.
And we changed a bunch of his clocks to 4:20.
Yeah, we changed their radio as well to like a different channel. Like we just
Yeah. Just fuck with everything in his kit.
Oh, sorry, Max.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah. That was a good night.
What other parties do we have?
There's been a lot like throughout.
I remember I went to one of many Tapsels, and we turned up, and it was literally like it was in town, and I can't remember. It was either
Was it one of the club ones?
one of the what? Sorry.
Was it one of the club ones? Like,
No, it was at the house.
oh, okay.
And I it was either Harry Marden or Harry Townsend. One of them threw up on someone, like a girl, and we all got kicked out at like 11:30.
Oh, shit.
God, yeah.
Oh, there's been some good parties though.
Yeah.
Regan's was good.
Oh, I didn't go to that one.
Oh, it's
Was that when
solid.
everyone was swimming?
Yeah,
That was a good party.
that was really fun. And then, yeah, there's been quite a lot, to be fair. The club ones are always shit. So, for a bit of context, when we were like,
not always shit.
I think every
Majority,
single one
yes,
pretty much
but not.
shit. I didn't go to all of them. I went to a few, but like all the ones I went to are shit. And I was like, I'm done with these. And then, but for a bit of context, we were underage, so we used to just rent out. Like people would put in, everyone would have to pay. We'd rent out a club, and then you couldn't drink in there because everyone knew you were underage. So you just had to get wasted before and then try and get in. And then it almost always just like got shut down early because someone threw up everywhere. And they were trash.
I think one of the best parties I went to was Lamphere's, and it was a big one because it was Dan's 18th, his brother's like 21st, his other brother's like 25th, and then mum and dad's like 40th or 50th wedding anniversary.
Well, they were really close together.
Yeah, they just had like one big party for everyone, and it was like a free bar, like just a massive like marquee in the field. Hello, Jake. Sorry, guys. This is my brother. You want to say anything? I don't have anything to say. No? It's going to be a nonce. Yeah. Right, what? Do you want to get the spray? You just shit yourself in my room. Where are you going? You want to go?
To shit himself.
Yeah. Want to leave now? Yeah, can you get the spray? Because that is fucking awful. But please, thank you.
Did your brother just rip ass in your room?
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
Nice. Carry on, Lamphere's party.
And yeah, it was just like a massive party. Like it was just a banger, to be fair. And like someone brought out some like absinthe. Someone brought out tequila. Like it was good. It was good.
I've never had absinthe. I've had the 75% shot in like Turtle Bay though. Probably the closest I've got.
Last time I went out at Pre, someone brought out 80% absinthe, and that was strong.
Jesus.
Yeah. I had a couple of shots at that, and that was me done.
Yeah. In Manchester, we did Tiki Fires, which are like, I think, 75% roughly.
Yeah.
Shots, and they're fucking brutal. Oh, how long have we been going? Well, out of curiosity.
We have been going for approximately 1 hour. Well, it's not approximately. Dead on 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 54 seconds.
All right, nice.
Do you think we should?
I need
there?
Yeah, sure. I need a pee, and my dinner's waiting for me downstairs. So I
Sweet.
quite like. That's all right.
Well, that's been a good episode, a quality episode. You've been a great guest, Sam. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the first guest.
Yeah.
Cheers for coming. Thanks everyone for watching. We have been as intolerable as usual, and we're out. Peace.
Bye bye.